Okay, shall I do the little stranger really quickly?
Yes.
I feel bad shortchanging this. I know how much you love D. Gleeson, man.
D. Gleeson.
D. Gleeson. Go with D. Gleeson.
I love his little mustache.
So, The Little Stranger, which is the first film from Lenny Abrahamson since Room. Since Room.
Not The Room.
Not Room.
Never The Room.
Right. So, obviously, there's some excitement to be had there because Room was tremendous. Not only was it tremendous, it netted Brie Larson her Best Actress Oscar, for which we should be grateful.
And also, he directed Frank.
Yes,
which is,
of course. Big sign poster for that. I don't know if you've noticed. Big sign poster for that in Soho screening rooms outside the...
Oh, is it?
Next to the bathrooms.
I've got like one of the Frank masks.
You have, haven't you? Promo, yeah. I remember that. But anyway, so this is the story of a town doctor who this is set post-war. Local doctor who goes to visit the sort of manor-like home that he knows from his childhood. When he was a child, he was a poor boy in the community. He looked up at this house in wonder. There was an incident whereby he tried to break in and have a look around once when he was a kid, and his mum caught him and beat him for it. And he's now the town doctor. Of course, he's Domhnall Gleeson. So, of course, he's, 7 feet tall, 7 feet of ginger-haired British classiness with the greatest mustache you can imagine. And he speaks with, the greatest diction anyone's ever heard because he is Domhnall Gleeson. Anyway, he goes to this family home where the older brother of the adult children, of the sort of prime adult children, the older brother, played by Will Poulter, I forgot his name for a second. Will Poulter has come back from the war disfigured.
Yeah, he's got really big prosthetics on.
Really great prosthetics, and his performance is really something. And his older sister, who's played by Ruth Wilson, they are the caretakers of this home. They have an illness in the family in the household that brings the doctor to them, and this sets off a sequence of events in which the doctor finds himself drawn into this family, becoming a sort of a part and a caretaker of this would-be wealthy family who seem to have fallen on hard times. And all of this is going on as the brother is attempting to sell integral, crucial parts of the family estate to the local council, etc. And, wouldn't you know it, there's some sort of a ghostly presence going on in the house. Imagine that. Here's a clip.
My darling brother's still in Lidcote, arguing with the builder about the land sale. I do hope they're not drinking to seal the deal. Speaking of which, help yourself. If there are any glasses left.
Pay no attention. And I think you look very smart, Betty.
Oh, I should warn you. The acoustics in this room are uncanny. Every word carries.
You, Miss Ayres, look beautiful.
Hasn't touched a drop yet, Chip. Walk me too, would you?
So there's some great performances in there, and you would expect that from a film, being helmed by Lenny Abrahamson, because he does seem to get great performances out of his casts. And Domhnall Gleeson, of course, he goes back to Frank with, doesn't he?
Yeah, I don't think we've done anything else, but I listened to Domhnall Gleeson on a podcast, and he was talking about working with Lenny Abrahamson, and he basically said, I'll do anything that he wants me to do. I'll be in whatever film, in whatever capacity.
Quite, yes, indeed.
So it seems to have a good partnership going on.
Now, this is not quite as successful a venture as Room was, but I think with Room, there was very much the case of there was a concept there that was irresistible.
Well, it's amazing source material.
It is amazing source material, and I don't think this quite stacks up the same way. On its surface level, this would appear to be a horror film that has then been taken and filmed as something else. And what he's done is filmed it as effectively a chamber piece, a chamber drama. And for my money, that doesn't quite pay off the way it should. The characters are there and they are brought to life by really, really great performances. Like, when is Domhnall Gleeson not awesome?
Yeah,
like,
good point.
It just doesn't happen, does it?
A dude.
He's great in everything. On his worst day, he's one of the best performers around. And he's kind of like an Oscar Isaac that way, isn't he? And, coincidence, huh? Star Wars guys.
He's one of my top 3 acting Gleesons.
Who's the third?
They all just kind of like share for second and third.
No, hang on. So we got Domhnall, Brandon. Who's the other Gleeson? Who am I forgetting?
The other one of his other sons that acts. Brian, is it? Or it's either Brian or Brian because it's very Irish.
Oh, hang on a minute. First of all, you forgot Paul Gleeson, who is no relation.
Yeah.
And what's his name? Sergeant Dwayne something or other in Die Hard?
Dwayne The Rock Gleeson.
Dwayne The Rock Gleeson, exactly. So this, for me, doesn't quite have the same success as Room does. It's got the performances, but the story isn't quite as involving. It isn't quite as interesting. The characters themselves are. The problem is when it's balanced against this horror movie concept that's going on sort of discreetly in the background, it feels like a very misbalanced film, a very unbalanced film, very misjudged, tonally misguided film. That maybe should have had the horror element dropped entirely and this run as a straight chamber drama. It feels like Abrahamson is so much more focused on that chamber drama that the horror movie element is given short change. And because it's given short change, it feels ineffective.
I think because of marketing, people are going to watch this because they like films like The Woman in Black.
I think so. Definitely like that. Yeah, and from the aesthetics of it, the great production design, this decrepit old mansion. Yeah, you have that obvious influence. But I say, I liked the film, but it just didn't quite work in the grander sense. It didn't work for me on a cinematic level. It worked for me as an experience. I sat there, I liked the characters, I liked the performances, I liked the direction of it, but I did think that direction was going in the wrong direction. So, yeah, one for the completist. If you want to keep your Lenny Abrahamson viewing roster up to date, then yes, definitely check this out. And if you're a Domhnall Gleeson fan, you got to see this because the dude's killing it. Yeah. But Ruth Wilson, Will Poulter, great cast.
So I was going to say it for the performances.
Performances are there, yeah. You will get something out of it. But if you're going into this looking for Woman in Black, boy, just go and watch Woman in Black.
And if you're going to see Woman in Black, why are you watching that film? The film's terrible. Go watch the play.
Every time with you.